What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction video, and I'm smiling big because I get so excited reacting to this man. It may not be part of your culture. EAM Jaishankar silences BBC journalist. Loaded question. I can't wait to dive in and see this because Jaishankar don't play that. He stands on business. He don't play the loaded questions. He don't play the hypocrisy. He gonna let the Western media know straight up, and I love that about him. But before we dive into this, if you would like to support the channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is hit that join button down below. Just give that a quick tap. You receive exclusive benefits that I know you guys will enjoy. Jaishankar, talk to me.
You talked about Prime Minister Modi's visit to Moscow last month, and a lot of people here were very upset to see that embrace between the two leaders.
You know, in our part of the world, when people meet people, they are given to embracing each other. It may not be part of your culture, but I assure you it's part of ours.
Also, they were quite upset to see India overtake China in terms of the biggest importer of Russian crude oil. And also, they say they're disappointed that there hasn't been an explicit condemnation of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine.
India is a big oil consumer. It's a big oil importer because we don't have oil. Now, it's not like there's a political strategy to buy oil. There is a oil strategy to buy oil. There's a market strategy to buy oil.
And also, they say they're disappointed.
I get so tired of hearing that question because it's like, we're going to condemn you for buying oil from Russia, but at the same time, we're not going to offer you a better deal than they can offer you. So we want you to stop buying oil from them, and we want you to buy it from here where it's more expensive, where it's going to hurt the pockets of your people more. And it's like, do y'all not think? And we want you to condemn that nation that's giving you this oil at a discount. It was another video. India's priorities first and foremost are the people of India. To make life as easy as they possibly can on them. To burden them as little as possible. Which makes sense. I feel like that should be every country's priority. First and foremost are the citizens of your country. So he said there's nothing political about buying oil, right? There's no political strategy behind us. But there's an oil strategy behind us buying oil. And the hypocrisy just be crazy with that question. It is such a loaded question. Justin, talk to him, Justin.
There is an oil strategy to buy oil. There's a market strategy to buy oil.
And also, they say they're disappointed that there hasn't been an explicit condemnation of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. So, in light of that, I'm just wondering whether you had difficulty today persuading President Zelensky that India is not favouring Russia, but is indeed pursuing a policy of non-alignment.
I think it was a perfectly convivial conversation. I think it was very constructive. I think there was a lot that we said, which he heard with a great deal of attention. He knows that we mean well by Ukraine. He knows that, you know, we are today very, very keen that this conflict should come to an end.
Minister Nick Beake from BBC News. You talked about Prime Minister Modi's visit to Moscow last month, and a lot of people here were very upset to see that embrace between the two leaders. Also, they were quite upset to see India overtake China in terms of the biggest importer of Russian crude oil.
I don't know if he just keep repeating the same question because we literally just heard this one. But it sounds like, yeah, they got to talk with Zelensky and they came to an understanding that, right, he didn't say everything, I guess, that was said in that conversation, but he said it was a good conversation and where Zelensky did listen to them. And they did let them know where they're coming from. And obviously they're trying to, I guess, be, is it called an arbitrator? Is that the word? I don't know what it is, but they're trying to help these two countries find a way to end this war, because the bloodshed and the killing is absolutely hurtful, absolutely impactful to countries outside of theirs. But he is trying to, the mediator, the mediator between the two countries. So let's continue listening. I just heard this question. I just heard his answer. So I'm going to let it play a little longer to see if they ask different questions.
Oil. And also, they say they're disappointed that there hasn't been an explicit condemnation of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. So, in light of that, I'm just wondering whether you had difficulty today persuading President Zelensky that India is not favouring Russia, but is indeed pursuing a policy of non-alignment. And secondly, because of that meeting in Russia last month, I think Prime Minister Modi is probably the most significant, influential world leader to have spoken to both sides recently. What personal role could he play in some sort of pursuit of peace? Thank you.
Regarding your question, in our part of the world, when people meet people, they are given to embracing each other. Yeah. It may not be part of your culture, but I assure you it's part of ours. So, in fact, today I think I saw the Prime Minister also embrace President Zelensky, and I've seen him do it with a number of other leaders in a number of other places. So I think perhaps we have a slightly cultural a gap here in terms of what these courtesies mean.
Yeah.
In terms of what you asked about the oil issue, look, India is a big oil consumer. It's a big oil importer because we don't have oil. Now, it's not like there's a political strategy to buy oil. There is a oil strategy to buy oil. There's a market strategy to buy oil. So the figures of where we get our oil imports go up and down. It depends on the state of the market. But it would definitely, I think the fact that the market is tight, that today big suppliers like Iran and Venezuela, who used to supply India, are constrained from operating freely in the markets, I think is a factor which needs to be taken into account. Regarding the conversation between
is it the West that's constraining them? I'm not sure because I don't know a lot about politics. But I love the fact he answered the question. It may not be part of your culture, like embracing, right? But Modi's embraced so many different world leaders. You said nothing about it then, but because Russia has invaded Ukraine and Modi goes there and embraces Putin, that's how the culture is. There's just a cultural difference. There's a cultural gap between that. So the fact that people would be upset about that, or countries would be upset about seeing that and condemning India for not absolutely condemning Russia, is wild. When I watch videos of Modi meeting different world leaders, and I've seen different clips of it, he definitely embraces each and every one that he's met. So, and I would say that is part of Indian culture to embrace. So I didn't see anything. That doesn't mean he likes you more or less than anybody else. It's a greeting. It's an embrace. Like when you greet someone, you embrace. We said he embraced presidents. He saw Modi embrace President Zelensky and many other people he's seen Modi embrace. So that's more of a greeting thing. And that's more of a cultural thing of India. And it may be different in different parts of the world. In the U.S., it may be different. In the U.K., it may be different. In the Ukraine, it may be different. But that's part of India's culture. And then I already gave you kind of my opinion on the oil question. So we'll keep it going.
Regarding the conversation between the Prime Minister and President Zelensky, I think it was a perfectly convivial conversation. I think it was very constructive. I think there was a lot that we said which he heard with a great deal of attention. He knows that we mean well by Ukraine. He knows that we are today very, very keen that this conflict should come to an end. And essentially what the message from our side to him, which surely would have not come as a surprise to him, is that, if there is anything that we can do in any way, in sort of upfront or behind or supporting somebody, it's the objective that we are interested in rather than the process. We are willing to do whatever we can because we do think that the continuation of this conflict is terrible for obviously for Ukraine itself and for the world as well.
Exactly. So, in saying that, he answered your question, right? If there's anything that Modi could do, if there's anything that India can do in helping in this conflict between the two countries, then I think that they're willing to do that. I think they're willing to step in and help these two countries and be a mediator if that's the role that they need to play. Because, like he said, it's not only this conflict is not only painful for Ukraine, but right, it's harmful for the world as well. And I completely agree. And once again, he shuts down a very loaded question. And this one's by a BBC journalist, so out of Britain, I believe. And they're just media out of the West. They try to, I guess, condemn. They're very hypocritical. Or I guess the hypocrisy is crazy when it comes from Western media. Because their countries could have done the same in the past, yet there's no condemning. Yet they want to condemn India for it. It seems like they're nitpicky. When I watch these videos, I hear a lot of nitpicking at India, and it's just annoying because we know why they're doing it, right? Because they see India rising, they see the economy growing, they see India's, I guess, path to becoming a power, and they can see them on that path, and so they're trying to. It seems like get them away from that path. They're trying to stop them from becoming a big power in the world, but. From these videos, I just really like India. I feel like it's an incredible country with incredible people. And I feel like India, although they're going to put India first and foremost, which they should, they really do care about the world, the rest of the world as well. But that's all we have for this video. If you guys enjoyed that, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and check out the next video. It's your boy D-Neil, out.